Okay, so we got Mary started. We just earned some retail profit. We have cash in our pockets. We're smiling. We're feeling super jacked up and excited. Now this is the next step. Okay, Mary, let's go over everything now. Now remember everything we spoke about, the importance of protein, and you know why you're feeling the way you're feeling. Let's go into depth some more. Now the glycemic index, it manages your sugar levels and your insulin levels. Alright? Let's take a look at carbohydrate-based meals. What is carbohydrates? Rice, pasta, provision, and flour. Correct? Awesome. Now this is what was taught to us in Trinidad. This is how we eat. The entire bottom of your plate, Mary, I need you to use imagination right now. The entire bottom of your plate is either rice, pasta, provision, or flour. On top of that, we normally put chicken out with sauce. Then you might still want, macaroni salad, potato salad, or a piece of pie. Callaloo or peas, and then we eat healthy because they sprinkle lettuce and tomato on the plate. And that is how we just eat. And she'll be laughing because that is what was taught to us. Mary, that's a generational curse that we need to break. We love the white rice, white pasta, white flour. And Mary wants it white, it's not right. So we need to cut back on that. We need to do more brown rice, brown pastas, whole grain and multigrain breads. We're going to stick to that. But once we eat like a Trinidadian and we have all of those carbohydrates in one setting, this is what happens, Mary. Carbohydrates break down into sugar to provide your body with glucose for energy. Alright, I'll repeat that. When you eat the big amount of carbohydrates, it breaks down into sugar to provide your body with glucose for energy. Now remember I said your glycemic index manages your sugar levels and your insulin levels. Because you had all of those carbohydrates, you're going to have a serious spike in your sugar levels. So your sugar levels are going to skyrocket out of the glycemic index where it's supposed to be leveled, and then it's going to make a big rainbow and you're going to have a dip and a crash. But when it spikes, your body has no choice but to create something called insulin to counterbalance. So when your insulin peaking where your sugar levels is, Mary, your sugar levels don't dip and it going all the way under. And here's what happening to you when you don't eat like a Trinidadian. Within 30 minutes later, the Macowell syndrome's kicking in. You want to sleep on yourself when you don't eat a big plate of food, Mary. Or a little while after, you want something sweet to drink, something sweet to eat, a snack to nibble on, or you're hungry again. And Mary shaking, she said yes. Because this is what happens when you eat too much carbohydrates in one setting. To spike your sugar levels back up again, and once it spikes up, the insulin is going to spike up again, and that roller coaster, Mary, you're at a high risk of diabetes, heart disease, and stroke. You need to stop doing that. Plain, simple, point blank. Another thing we love to do, Mary, is skip meals and take too long to eat. A lot of times you want to lose weight, eat once for the day. You want to lose weight, don't eat after 6. Starve yourself diet, egg diet, cabbage diet, all the craziness. Mary, were you ever hungry to a point where you was upset, nauseous, hungry, sick, headaches, angry, or even feeling woozy? Mary go and say yes. Okay, Mary, here's what happens in that time. The same glycemic index, your sugar level drops too low. And when it drops too low, that feeling you're getting is your body's way of saying, I am starved. Now get this. You probably might drink some water, or a little while after the feeling would subside. And Mary go and tell you yes. Here's what happens when the feeling subsides. Your body goes into something they call a catabolic state. I'll repeat that. Your body goes into something they call a catabolic state. It simply means it has to create sugars for itself, but here's what it does. It eats your bone mass and it eats your muscle mass to create sugar. Now hold up, Mary. And we learned that you need muscle to burn fat. Mary telling you yes. So if you skip meals and take too long to eat, and you allow your body to eat bone and eat muscle, how are you going to burn the fat? So a lot of times, Mary, when you do the starve yourself diet and the craziness, you would lose the physical weight, the number on the scale, but it's the wrong way to lose in. So that's why when you stop, you're twice as big and you don't know why, because your muscle mass too low. Now those two scenarios I painted for you, Mary, your body does not know the difference between your feeded food or your don't feeded food. Once the sugar levels all over the place and the insulin levels, It sends an automatic signal to your brain saying, I don't know when she's going to feed me again. So the next meal she put in her mouth from here on in, we shall and we will store it as fat. Mary go and say, wait, I didn't know. So Mary, looking at your eating patterns and looking at what you're doing on a daily basis, your body is constantly in a fat storing mode. Now why I'm saying looking at your eating patterns, you know for a fact Mary not eating on time. You know for a fact Mary overeating in some settings, a bunch of oily food, fried foods, snacks. We know for a fact that. So you say, Mary, looking at your eating patterns, for a fact your body is constantly in a fat storing mode. Once we balance off those the glycemic index, the sugar levels and the insulin levels, number one, you're going to lose weight. You're going to build muscle. You're going to move from being sexy to being sexier. If you're suffering from that polycystic ovaries or the syndromes, it's going to help to control hormonal imbalances as well. And if you have diabetes, this is what we need to do, balance off the glycemic index. And how it's done is by eating every 2.5 to 3 hours. Mary, you see how much we're learning. If you do not eat every 2.5 to 3 hours until it's time to sleep, your body would constantly be in a catabolic state and also in a fat storing mode. And if you're driving a car whole day and it need gas, let me say the last time you put gas was 6 o'clock and 11 o'clock at the night you're coming down on the meter. What you want to tell your car? Hold up until in the morning? No. Your car will shut down and you'll get hold up. It's the same thing with your body. Even if you're lying down on your bed or you're not doing much activity, your body is still functioning and it still needs fuel. And if you're not putting fuel there, it's going to feed on itself. So breakfast should be had within 30 minutes of getting up. We're going to have the shake, Mary. You're going to do 2 scoops of the Formula 1 meal replacement and you're going to do 2 scoops of the personalized protein powder. This is going to be giving you 21 essential vitamins and minerals, 140 nutrients, 24 grams of protein with only, get this, 130 calories. So your body is going to be at a caloric deficit. It's going to be in that anabolic state because the protein intake is high and the nutrient value is high. What we're going to also do as well, Mary, this is if Mary got all of these things, right? If she just got the Formula 1 meal replacement and the PPP, no problem. The tea, this is how we're mixing it, and you're going to how you're mixing it. Everything is in the back. There is a training teaching you what's in the product so you could better explain what's in the product. And the ingredients are to the back. All you simply do is pull the canister and read it and remember how much scoops and what. The calories and the protein. This is your job as a coach to know what's in your product. Alright? Mary, let's say we had breakfast at 6 o'clock. 7, 8, 9 o'clock we need to snack. All snacks need to be protein based. The goal is to accumulate the amount of proteins Mary need. We know we can't get all in one meal. The body could only take in up to 40. So we need to space the proteins periodically throughout the day to get Mary to understand how to meet her requirements. So protein based snack. In the group we have the meal plans. Let her do 1. 9, 10, 11, 12. Lunchtime, Mary, make a fist. That is all the carbohydrates should be in a plate. Rice, pasta, provision of flour. Meat, the size of your palm. Baked, steamed, grilled, barbecue, rotisserie. The next fist or 2, vegetables. And we actually have a picture in the meal plans doing the same demonstration. Even a time chart so Mary can see how she should be eating. So Mary, understanding what's the formula for you, it means you can now eat anything. So if you feel for roti, you grab the skin. That's your roti skin. Throw the rest away. You're not going to add potato because that's another form of carb, and if you put it in, it's going to store as fat. Move that. Pumpkin, bodi, bhaji, mango, chana, meat minus the sauce. You just did roti but you didn't do it like a chili. Or do you prefer me tell you eat bush all day? So you see why this is not a diet, Mary. This is a lifestyle. Once we could change your lifestyle, you could do everything you're accustomed doing, still get the results, and still enjoy being amongst humans. And why I'm saying being amongst humans, because most people think you have to eat bush all day. Simple as that. So lunch, we know what lunch look like. 12, 1, 2, 3 o'clock we snacking. Protein-based snack again. 4, 5, 6. Mary, from 6 o'clock I would recommend, if you want to really get that result you're looking for, you try not to have carbohydrates after 6. No bread, no rice, no pasta, no flour. From 6 o'clock onwards, your metabolism slows down. Your body recognizes it's time to sleep. If you put in carbs at that time, it's simply going to store as fat. So I suggest you do vegetables and some sort of protein. So Mary now understand it's not that you can't eat after 6, you know. You just shouldn't have carbs. So this is you giving that information and giving your clients that value. So we had vegetables and some sort of protein. 7, 8, 9, we go back and we do another shake Mary. 10, 11, 12, if you're up, you still have another protein-based snack. 1, 2, 3, if you're up, protein-based snack. It doesn't matter the time. Once you're up, your body is functioning. So Mary, go ahead and download Telegram. Let me add you to the platforms. Let me show you where you need to get what. Simple as that, guys. If you're doing the profiles over the phone, I suggest you break it up in 2 parts. If you're not doing it over the phone and you want to give all this information at once, you could go ahead and do so, but I would always recommend you hold back a little bit, because you don't want to give too much and the person get the info from you and they go and buy it from somebody else. As simple as that. Alright, if you know somebody that will buy it from you and you want to go into all the details, take 30 minutes out of your time, give them all this information and ask them when they're going to get started. But just let them know you're not going to get no meal plans, no meal guides, no online platform, no support. You're not even going to get any more information from me if you don't get the product from me. The product comes with the coach. The founder of the company lost his mother to overdose of sleeping pills and diet pills, and he didn't want this to be sold without what we just did happening. So if you really want to get a result and you want to have me as a coach, I would love to have you as a client. Let's make it happen. Simple as that, guys.